Greetings, GMAN Division 4A, and welcome to another recap. Couple days late, I do apologize, but I had exams yesterday. So I hope you all understand. Let's get right into it with Two Thin Coats winning 2-1 versus the Horror All-Stars. Now that's interesting. Because the Two Thin Coats are very beat up, so I guess they used their inducements to their full potential there. I think I'll once again not really go into full details on like trying to analyze dice rolls because I don't really even see the point. Yeah, 3 to 14 armor breaks, you know, the standard. Got some removals, yeah, but Wood Elves did Wood Elf things, so they win. Breakneck Rampage versus Horror All Stars, 2-0 victory there. Interesting. I don't think that was super unexpected. You know what? I'll actually have the leaderboard up on my other screen so we can see if that was or was not unexpected. I don't think it was a hugely unexpected result there. Am I blind? Nah, actually, whatever. Statistics, 30, basically the same amount of blocks, although the Necro got a bunch more removals. Well, I say a bunch more, only 2 more KOs really, and another injury, so it's something, but it doesn't really make a huge difference in the grand scheme of things. Yeah. Only Fulton Hobgold ones, losing versus Smart Models. I think this was yes, it was a admin win. Not entirely sure why. Not for the cat losing against the dwarves. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, dwarves kind of suck to play against. Yeah, basically whatever agi team you are. So yeah, there you have it. Although actually pretty similar in terms of blocks succeeded, but then again the dwarves they just injure a lot more, don't they? Assy Rats actually losing against the Nagarite Night Stalkers. Now that's very interesting. It wasn't like super unlikely to happen this, but it wasn't very expected, was it? Blocks, Dark Elves blocked a bunch more and got twice removals for it. Maybe remove the one turn, remove some important pieces, and you know I can see them winning. So yeah, that's an interesting result. Eldritch Ambrosia runners winning versus the Essinga Howlers. This is admin win. And then lastly we have Forced on Dwarf Technique winning versus Mazdamundi's Heirs. Not a huge surprise, I think. Well, sort of. I mean, Mazdamundi's Heirs have been doing very well, but their team is very beat up. Very, very beat up. So yeah, I can see why they maybe lost this. Pretty similar in terms of blocks, but the Dark Elves got a bunch of removals. I guess AV9 is a lie. Yeah, 84% arm. No, that's dodge. Hold up. 62% armor for the Dark Elves. 68% armor for the things. I don't know. Dice, I mean, stats don't really tell a whole lot, all things considered, which is why I don't really like looking at them. Either way, let's take a look at the development. 2 games have already been played. Understandable, of course. But yeah, we'll just like ignore that development as usual. Let's take a look here. Assy Rats. What? What am I doing? No, I'm looking at next week's game. Yes, I am an idiot. Let's take a look. Nothing. Just yeah, an MNG on like a loner, I think. I mean, I'll just go in here. I guess this is yeah. All right. Eldritch Ambrosia Nurse. They get a level on Craftily Nefarious one. Where's Craftily Nefarious One? He isn't here. Alright, interesting. Okay, let's move on. Fortune Dwarf Technique. What probably happened is that, I don't know, maybe Eldritch Ambrosioners? Nah, I have no clue. Maybe I'm just blind. It's sort of late here right now. It's like 12 p.m., so this isn't great. Um, very professional. First and Dwarf Technique, right. Concentrate. Um, Death on the Wrestle Witch Elf. That sucks, but I guess, I mean, sort of life goes on. Does he have money to replace it? Hold up. How much does a Witch Elf even cost? I'm guessing he doesn't have money to replace it because otherwise he would have at this point, but I mean it sucks losing it. But it only has one level, so you know. It's all good, probably. Mazdamundi's heirs, I see they have lost a bit of TV, poor things. Well, there's the MNG, is that an MNG? On the Super Skink, which definitely has something to do with it. And Urnot gets an Agi bust, so an MNG. Actually, this skink is niggled. So, yeah, that's potentially pretty sketchy. I mean, of all perms, that's probably the best one. That's definitely the best one to, you know, stats to lose, whatever. Um, but yeah, that sucks. And then, you know, the MNG on this skink. Looking, I mean, not great, but you're fine. You'll survive the niggle, probably. Scowlers? Orcs? They get nothing, because it was an admin win, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. Nagarath Night Stalkers? Bloody pending levels on Pain. Let's take a look. Yeah, he got actually 3 levels. I guess Nagarath Night Stalkers I've already played this week, which is why there's a level on Pain. Fair enough. Level on Suffering, the second, gets Dodge. Very nice. Though Wrestle Witch Elves gets Tackle. Nice. Maybe, you know, Strip Ball would have been better. I don't know, I like starting with Strip Ball because, well, it sort of depends on what teams you're playing, you know, sure hands or no sure hands. Yeah. And then the Mighty Blow gets Sidestep. I like it. Um, Sidestep, of course, helping in case she does get hit. Of course, that's not ideal if that does happen, but let's say, you know, there's a non-tackle hit, you know, probably don't get the knockdown, you can sidestep next to them and you get a free Mighty Blow hit, basically. I like it. I built my killer in the exact same way as High Elves. Heavy hitters, more pending levels. Maybe they played this week. Might have. They get a level on Gabur. Yes, that guy. Guess we'll have to wait and see what that is. Um, yeah. And then Thor gets a level, and it's pending. Probably stand firm, unless it's a double in case. Probably dodge. Yeah, probably because at that point you basically have a flesh golem, which is nice. Smart models. No pending levels. I like it. This was a admin win, so no levels there. Hogwarts Exiles. Let's see if they got something. They got a level on Cho, who gets block. That's nice. And the Super Carrier got MA busted. Oh no. Oh, that's sad. This was such a good piece. This is like the greatest piece ever, and now it's only a good piece. Rip. Oh, that sucks, but what do you do? What can you do? Two Thin Coats. Let's take a look if they have recovered at least somewhat. You know, beginning to rebuild. The tree is still there. They only got a... Well, they did get a level on the kick dodge player. He gets guard. That's nice. The double there is pretty big. Um, yeah, I like it. Then Breakneck Rampage. They get nothing. Sweet. Only fills in hobgoblins. Admin win, of course. What's for the cat number one? Was this an admin win too? Hold up. I don't think it was. No, it wasn't. Strength bust on value. He's sacked. Obviously. Some badly hurts. He probably played this game already. I don't know, maybe got an MA buzz? I don't know. Probably, yeah, that's an MA buzz, but that happened like this week because he played his game already, I'm guessing. Yes, he has. Last week he had normal Agi lineman die, but no levels. And lastly, Horror All-Stars. Please don't tell me this was the admin one. No, it was against Tooth and Coat, so it was not Death. No, never mind. He gets a level on Dr. William Eyre, the werewolf, finally getting some development on them. Block, I like it. And rebuilding for next, Season 12 Zombie gets a level. Wrestle is a nice pickup there. I like it. Looking pretty decent as we go into the predictions. I think it's all the predictions now, right? Yeah. Let's do predictions. First off, Breakneck Rampage versus Horror All Stars. This is the not Nurgle off, Necro off, featuring basically the same Necro team against each other except for one of them has more levels. I mean, yeah, there's not a huge amount to say here. Breakneck Rampage probably taking this one because they just have that superior development. Like there isn't much you can do about it. Like if you think about it, Breakneck Rampage is Horror All Stars but better. Horror All Stars, what do they have that is like nice? They have the Strength 5 Flesh Golem. Guess what? The Breakneck Rampage have that. They have the, I guess the Guard Zombie is pretty nice. Well, the Breakneck Rampage have that too. But then Breakneck Rampage, they have like the Insane Werewolf, that's a killer. Then they also have the Agi 4 White, which is like big. So I mean they have, they have two Guard Zombies, two Demiurgs, one Guard Zombie. So I think Breakneck Rampage takes this one. I mean, there are inducements. He gets 120k passive cash if he spends 30k of his own cash. You know, he gets a wizard, and games can always get, you know, pretty crazy when there's a wizard in play. But he doesn't really have the tools to take full advantage of it with only, you know, actually 3 stuff like that. So I do think Breakneck Rampage takes this one. Only Foes and Hobgoblins versus 2 Thin Coats. Now here's an interesting one. We have this Chorf team, which hasn't really been doing anything all season. And then the Wood Elf team, which has been getting like pretty good results, but is like super beat up. Um, the Wood Elves get some inducements. Let me take a quick look at just how much they get. They get 70k of inducements. That's not great, is it? Because the only way I really see them winning this is with a wizard. And guess what they don't get? A wizard, unless they spend 80k of their own cash. Which I doubt he's doing, considering he only has like 3/4 of a team. Like, he wants to replace the tree. I'm thinking, I know this is what I'd be doing. And perhaps buying some linemen. So I don't really see him. Excuse me. I don't really see him spending money on a wizard. So this is probably just gonna be like a babe. And yeah, I mean, Well, the things, the chorfs are probably going to be carrying on the bull. It's a 4+ pickup. If they fail the 4+ pickup, then the woodies can definitely make some stuff happen. But you're looking at a 1 in 4 for the pickup to fail, which isn't exactly reliable, is it? So, dude, can the Widows win this? Well, totally. I mean, they won, last week's game, even though I predicted them to lose. I'm pretty sure. So, I mean, I can definitely see them winning this one, but I do think the Chores take it. I do think so. Oh, all right. Smart Moles versus Assy Rats. Here's an interesting game. We have the second place versus. Hold up while I take a look at the leaderboard. Third place. Going to be an important game because whoever loses this one is likely to be out of the playoff race at the very least, perhaps even out of the Champs Cup race. These are both very nice teams, although, well, one is looking worse for wear. I mean, Eldar's team is looking like really nice with how trim it is, but the Scave team is pretty ridiculous with the natural one turner, etc., etc. I mean, you guys have been watching these recaps. It's basically me repeating how, you know, crazy this rat team is for various reasons. They get a grand total of like 219 inducements. Yeah, 219 inducements. So that's gonna be a wizard plus 140. So maybe like a wizard, a bribe, and a babe. I can see that happening. They have 150k in cash, so it's not like they're running low. Um, so I could definitely see them, the wizard doing crazy stuff, and then Agi4 picks it up, gives it to the MA10, who then just like runs over to the other side of the field where no chorfs can even hope to reach. Like that's a thing. But then again, on the other side of the spectrum, Eldar can just like absolutely massacre these Skaven as chorfs tend to do. Um, and trying to steal the ball is going to be pretty hard when you have like 2 players left. I still think the Asirats are going to take this. I think Misa has a good chance at taking this one, but I mean, I'm not exactly saying it's impossible for Eldar to win this one. This will be interesting, undoubtedly. Eldritch Ambrosia Runners versus the Heavy Hitters version 2.0. I feel like this recap is going very quick. Anyways, this is the Underworld versus the Chorfs, and this is basically like Underworld's worst matchup, isn't it? This Chorf team is like crazy. I've been yawning a lot. I guess talking makes me tired. That's the thing. This Chorf, not Chorf team, Dwarf team is really good. Um, it has so many impressive pieces, and not that the Underworld don't have. I mean, they have the edgy 4 thrower. He's also MA8. That's a very nice piece. But I think the dwarves just take this one, don't they? I mean, they just do kind of. Um, yeah, because Underworld are just so reliant on like, well, they're goblins, right? They need to. They are reliant on dodge to make like reliable dodges whatsoever. And as soon as they don't have dodge, they start failing dodges. And when you start failing dodges, you start making armor value breaks on your goblins. That's a great way to pitch clear yourself. I mean, like, you might not think about it that way, but like me and my high elf team, if we have, a bad game with some failed dodges, like, you remove your players real quick. And that's with like armor value 8. This is with armor value 7 stunty. So like, I don't know. I think the dwarves take this one, unless they play very sloppily. But, well, Click has a chance. Although I don't think it's a great one. He does have Claw. Um, but we'll have to wait and see if that really is enough to swing the tide here. And then, lastly, we have Essing Howlers versus Athmundi's Heirs. Um, this is interesting because Essing Howlers have not been having a hot season. In fact, not to gaslight anyone, but they are bottom of the leaderboard. But then again, the Mazdamundi's heirs are extremely beat up. Extremely. They are in a really rough position because they, first of all, they're missing their Saurus, which is a huge deal, and their Super Skink is gone, so it's not like they can rely on stupid agi plays to carry them through. They get a bunch of inducements. Yeah. And skinks, they can take advantage of like a good wizard. But if with that agi 3 they still sort of struggle. I think the orcs just like outbashed the lizards. They out agi the lizards in some respects. I mean the orcs have two agi 4 pieces. Um like I don't know, this one's hard to call because like uh, if these were like two equal coaches, I like to say Essing Howlers take this one, like almost by far. Um, but there's always record to be considered here, so I don't know. I think the Mazamundis heirs probably take this one, even though I'm really not sure about that one. Um, yeah, it's odd. It's odd. So that's the predictions out of the way. And is there anything left? Have I forgotten anything? I'm not going to be using the predictor anymore because even though it's a novel little tool, I don't think it's really that representative of the actual likelihood of winning. It can give you a like vague idea, but Blood Bowl, is a dice game, and nothing is, 100% chance of working. My English is deteriorating at a rapid pace. Um, yeah. Anything else? I mean, I guess we'll take a quick look at the leaderboard. Yeah, that works. Yeah, sure. Sounds like a good idea. Um, Note that a couple of people have played their games already. 4 people in total. But at the top, we see El Duderino with his forced and dwarf technique. Very impressive. Managing to take the first place from Misa and the Asirats this week. But it doesn't mean the Asirats are out of the game quite yet. They are on their heels. It doesn't actually say the point difference here, which is like sort of irritating. So the El Dorino has 23 points, while Misa has 19, so he is ahead by 4 points. Which means that even if he loses this week and Misa wins, he's still ahead in first place, even though it's only by 1 point. Is it by one? Yeah, by 1 point. Um, Other than that, Eldar coming in third place, also quite close, 18 points, so only one behind Misa. And then we see the dwarves, lizardmen, underworld, not as competitive for the first spot, but they definitely have a shot for the Champs Cup. Yes. So I do think that is all I had for this week. Recaps do tend to be a little faster without a co-caster. Did I even mention Hammersep not being here this week? Huh. I don't think I did. Well, he couldn't make it, so well, you would have guessed that by now. But yeah, he's not muted or anything. Trying to get him on next week. Yeah. But that's all I had for this week. I've been your host, Gunnerside, and I will see you guys in the next one.